All right, time to get you some business news. I'm joined here in the studio by France 24's Yuka Roy. Hello to you, Yuka.
Hi, Rochelle.
A vote of confidence for the UK, saying that the British Prime Minister, says the British Prime Minister, this is after a Japanese car maker, Nissan, committed to staying in the country. Tell us more, Yuka.
Nissan says that it will keep making cars at its Sunderland factory in the northeast of England. The long-term commitment comes as a result of the trade deal reached between the UK and the European Union at the end of last year. Now, Nissan makes about 30,000 Leaf electric cars there and says it will source more batteries from Britain to avoid tariffs. Wassim Cornet reports.
A massive sigh of relief for Britain and the more than 6,000 people employed at Nissan's Sunderland factory in the northeast of England. The Japanese company says it continues to see its future in the country thanks to the recent Brexit deal with the EU. Great news for the local economy.
The impact that the Nissan plant has had throughout the northeast is absolutely incredible and not really possible to overstate. So many businesses outside the automotive supply chain directly have benefited from the impact of the expertise that this plant has brought. And we know that the longer-term future of this whole region does really get impacted by what happens at the Nissan plant here.
The automaker has decided to source more car batteries from the UK to avoid tariffs on electric cars, something that was made possible by the Brexit trade deal. Nissan makes about 30,000 Leaf electric cars in Sunderland, and according to the company's chief operating officer, the deal has given the Sunderland plant competitive advantage both inside and outside the UK. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson hailed the news, calling it a great vote of confidence in the country and for the future of electric vehicle manufacturing. Nissan aims to have an electric version of all cars sold in Europe by the end of 2023. The company says it will then be up to consumers to decide how quickly they make the switch from traditional vehicles.
Now, meanwhile, German car group Volkswagen has reported that its operating profit, excluding costs related to the Dieselgate scandal, came in at 10 billion euros for 2020. Now, that's almost half its profit for 2019, but the figure is much better than analyst expectations. The car maker says that deliveries picked up towards the end of last year and expects a better outlook for the industry this year. Volkswagen shares hit their highest in 11 months after that earnings report. European car sales plunged by nearly a quarter last year because, obviously, of the pandemic. The US Senate's Finance Committee has approved President Biden's nomination of Janet Yellen as Treasury Secretary. The vote was unanimously in favour, with 26 for and 0 against. The full Senate vote will come later this Friday. The former chairman of the Federal Reserve, Yellen, is to become the first woman to head the US Treasury. Back in 2017, it took 3 weeks for her predecessor, Steven Mnuchin, to be confirmed on a 53-47 vote divided along the party line. Let's listen to what the Republican chairman of that Senate committee had to say before the vote.
The committee judged that a federal open market.
I and my Republican colleagues have acted to process Dr. Yellen's nomination before the committee expeditiously. We've done that in the interest of bipartisanship and to help ensure that the president's cabinet can get up and running to help respond to the needs of the American people, particularly in the midst of our virus pandemic.
Well, the senator also added that there's no question about Janet Yellen's qualifications. Now, Senate Republicans did express concerns about the new president's spending plans and called on Yellen to work with them in developing economic policies. Republicans are worried that Biden's $1.9 trillion pandemic relief package, as well as other investment plans for infrastructure and green energy, will run up national debt further. But Yellen has warned that without a swift coronavirus relief, the US will face a longer and more painful recession. The president is signing 2 executive orders today, one on stopgap measures to help struggling families under the pandemic, and another on the minimum wage hike. Now, with that, let's check in on the day's trading action. And optimism of earlier in the week seems to have faded somewhat this Friday as investors in the US do worry that Joe Biden's coronavirus relief plan may hit a stumbling block in Congress. In Europe, a raft of new economic data highlighted the worsening pandemic situation on the continent. Major stock markets ended the week in negative territory, with Paris's CAC 40 dropping over 0.5 percentage point. And that's it for business for now.
All right, Yuka, we'll be speaking to you a little bit later in the show. For now, though, thank you for that business roundup. Do stay tuned here on France 24. We'll have more world news headlines, plus our focus report coming up for you on the other side. You're watching France 24.